Alright, now this is for the one kid that asked last night about how to change your stator on a Gixxer 650. Oh no, it's a GS 650. And he's got the L, I believe, or the T, I can't remember. But it's going to be basically the same cover. Your stator is right here. You got to pop this cover. And I think on that 650, your starter is back in the center. It's not going to be on this. It's just going to be that part of the cover. But before you pull this cover, pull this one if you have it. If not, pull that whole cover. Pull your gear shift first. Pull that whole cover. If you've got both covers, pull that cover. And like I say, I think on the 650, the starter was back in the center like normal, but I'm only 90%, I'm 80% sure I'm wrong on that, because I've seen 650s both ways where they had the starter in the center, but it doesn't matter. Your stator is right here, and you don't have to touch that starter when you pull this shit off. Pop all your screws around your case, and in this case I'd have to pull an engine guard, which I'm really not feeling good enough to do today. Otherwise, you know, I would have no problem taking it off. I am going to take off this stator later, but I got the impression the kid's in a hurry to get his machine running. That cover right there is your stator, and the reason that you pull all this cover is because your wires are running up under there, and there's little, actually those are just little clippy ties on these Suzukis. Wherever you take the old wire out, and by the way, don't try and take your stator out of the side cover. You can, it can be done, but generally you're a lot better off buying a used older stator, because they're just windings. If it's a good stator, it's a good stator, and I have taken them apart and soldered the windings back together and put them back in, and you know, after coating them, and the shit lasts forever. I've got one that's still running today, and it's been 20 years since I did that. By the same token, I've fucked up a couple that way too. And I've probably had 100 successes for every 2 failures. But stator's going to be right there, and it is removable from that cover. Pain in the ass to do it, but oh, and this stupid tin plate, be real careful with it. That's all it is a stupid tin plate. Pop your whole cover, unbolt your stator if you really want to keep the cover the side cover that you've got. If you're not concerned with that, buy a stator that's already in a side cover, because like I say, it ain't nothing but windings. There's nothing in there to really go wrong. And the rotor on these is self-magnetized. Yeah, I believe. Let me see, let me count my wires to make sure. No, it's got an active rotor. No, it doesn't. Fuck, I'm completely wrong there. That's the fucking 1, 2, 3. If you've got an active rotor, check your rotor first, but I don't believe that 650 would have a active rotor. I believe it would have its own magnetic. It shouldn't have the pickups in it. It should be self-magnetized. And look in the book to make sure, but I promise you, if you want to change it, slide that sucker off. If you want to get it out of the housing that you have, because it's prettier than the one that your new stator came with, or you actually bought a reproduction stator, it's 3, sometimes 6 screws in there. Pop that fucker off. And I'm sorry, I'm not feeling good enough to do a video on actually doing it today, but maybe in a couple of days I will. But in the meantime, I've given the kid an idea. There's how you do it. And let's say I pull those covers first, both of them if you have them, one of them if you don't. Pull that cover. Stator's right here in this piece right here. There's going to be a rotor in there. I believe it to be self-magnetized. Alright, holler at y'all fuckers and fuckheads later.